In the quiet suburb of Pine Grove, where the wilderness brushes against the edges of civilization, an unspoken balance exists. But when the laws of nature are challenged, survival becomes a desperate game. Lily Thompson had always been a caretaker, a silent guardian to the stray souls that wandered to the edges of her home. But nothing could have prepared her for Daisy, a pregnant bobcat who, against all odds, seemed to trust her. Fragile yet fierce, Daisy carried more than just her own survival on her shoulders, she bore the weight of new life. Yet, as kind as nature could be, it could also be cruel. A silent predator lurked in the shadows of the pines, a creature foreign to these lands yet a master of ambush. One fateful afternoon, destiny collided in a battle not of territory, but of life and death. Would the wild claim its own, or would an unlikely alliance alter the course of nature itself? The late afternoon sun cast long shadows across Pine Grove, a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of Jacksonville, Florida. Here, dense pine forests bordered manicured lawns, creating a delicate border between the wild and the tame. For the past decade, Lily Thompson, a 42-year-old hospice nurse, had made her home in this sanctuary. Her modest ranch-style house, with its wraparound porch and flourishing garden, was more than just a residence, it was a haven for local wildlife. Neighbors often joked that she ran an unofficial rescue shelter, a sentiment she never denied. Every morning before her shift at St. Vincent's Hospital, she laid out fresh water and carefully portioned food for the stray creatures that had come to rely on her kindness. It was during one of these morning routines in early March that Lily first noticed Daisy. Unlike the usual strays, this bobcat moved with a quiet confidence, wild, untamed, yet drawn to the edges of human habitation. Her tawny fur, marked with striking black spots, rippled over her athletic frame, though her swollen belly hinted at vulnerability. Lily, experienced in handling wary strays, knew better than to approach. Instead, she began leaving out raw chicken and water at the forest's edge. "You're welcome here, sweet girl," Lily whispered from her porch, watching as Daisy cautiously approached the offerings. "Just keep your distance, and we'll get along just fine." Across the street, Luke Martinez observed the scene with wary eyes. A 45-year-old former military pilot, Luke had retreated into solitude after losing his only son, James, in a car accident 2 years ago. The tragedy had shattered his marriage and left him hollow. Now, his only companion was Max, the German shepherd his son had loved. Unlike Lily's flourishing garden, Luke's property bore the marks of neglect, overgrown grass, weeds strangling once thriving flowers. He spent most of his days working remotely as a flight simulator instructor, avoiding interactions whenever possible. From his office window, he noticed the bobcat but saw only a potential problem. "Keep your distance, Max," he warned whenever they encountered Daisy on their early morning walks. The dog obeyed, though his curious eyes lingered on the feline. As March progressed, Lily noticed a shift in Daisy's behavior. She began appearing more frequently, lingering in the shade of the pines, her movements slower, more labored. The time was near. "I think she's choosing to stay close," Lily confided in her colleague, Sarah, during lunch at the hospital. "I'm worried." "Maybe she senses you're safe," Sarah mused. Animals have good instincts about these things. Neither Lily nor Daisy could have anticipated the danger that had also taken notice. A massive Burmese python, likely an escaped or abandoned exotic pet, had slithered its way into the Pine Grove woods. Invasive and lethal, it had survived unnoticed, preying on local wildlife. And now, Daisy, with her routine movements and vulnerable condition, had become its next target. Lily had just returned from her morning shift and an unusual commotion from the forest's edge sent a chill down her spine. A desperate yowl cut through the air, followed by the ominous rustling of underbrush. Racing around the corner of her house, she froze. The python had struck. Its massive coils constricted around Daisy's struggling form, tightening with each breath she lost. Though she fought, her strength was waning. Oh, God! No. Her medical training failed her. She knew how to mend broken bones, ease pain, and bring comfort, but nothing had prepared her for this. Her hands trembled as she searched for something, anything, to use. Across the street, Max's sharp ears caught the distress. His barking shattered the afternoon stillness, drawing Luke from his work. Years of military instinct flared alive. "I need to check something," he muttered to his student before muting the call. The urgency in Max's bark was different this time. Then, his phone rang, Lily's number. "Luke, please. A python, it's got Daisy, I don't know what to do." The tremor in her voice reignited an instinct he had long buried. Without hesitation, he grabbed his work gloves and sprinted across the street, Max bounding beside him. The scene was chaos. The python tightened its grip, Daisy's desperate struggles were fading. Lily stood frozen in horror. "Max, stay," Luke commanded. The dog, though quivering with tension, obeyed. Luke's mind assessed the situation with military precision. The snake's head was focused entirely on subduing its prey. An opening. "Lily, be ready. When I give the signal, pull her free." She wiped her tears, nodding. Luke spotted a thick pine branch nearby. He seized it and took a steadying breath. "Max, bark." The dog erupted into a frenzy of snarls, his sharp, aggressive barks drawing the python's attention. The snake hesitated, its focus wavering, just enough. Luke acted. He wedged the branch between its coils and Daisy's body, forcing space between them. "Now, Lily." Summoning all her strength, Lily grasped Daisy's forelegs and pulled. The bobcat, sensing her moment, twisted and writhed free of the serpent's grasp. As soon as she was clear, Luke released the branch and stepped back, watching as the python slithered in retreat. Daisy collapsed a few feet away, her breath ragged, but alive. "She needs help," Lily murmured, her nurse's instincts returning. "She's too close to giving birth." Luke surprised himself with his next words. "We can set up a safe space in my garage." What followed was a delicate rescue. With the help of a wildlife vet, they gently transported Daisy to the makeshift maternity ward. That night, via a baby monitor, they witnessed the miracle, 5 tiny bobcat kittens, fragile yet full of life. Weeks passed. Daisy and her kittens thrived. Luke and Lily, once strangers, became partners in their care. Slowly, walls built by grief and solitude crumbled. Luke spoke of James, of pain and healing. Lily shared her own loss, the mother who had shaped her path. When the day of release came, they watched as Daisy and her kittens disappeared into the wild where they belonged. As the sun set that evening, Luke reached for Lily's hand. "Thank you. For calling me that day. For reminding me it's okay to care again." Lily smiled, squeezing his hand. "Thank you. For being there when I needed help." And somewhere in the distance, the whisper of the forest carried their story, the story of survival, second chances, and the wild, untamed heart that had brought them together. Life has a way of testing us in unexpected ways, often pushing us beyond our comfort zones. Where the wild meets the heart is more than just a story of survival, it is a testament to resilience, trust, and the power of human connection. Lily and Luke, both burdened by grief and loneliness, found healing in an unlikely place, through their shared mission to save a vulnerable creature. Daisy, the wild bobcat, unknowingly became a catalyst for change, proving that even in the face of adversity, life has a way of bringing the right people together at the right time. This story reminds us that courage is not the absence of fear but the willingness to act despite it. It teaches that healing often comes when we least expect it, sometimes in the form of a wild animal in need or a stranger who becomes a friend. It also reinforces the delicate balance between nature and humanity, showing that kindness toward the wild can reflect and restore something deeply human within ourselves. In a world that often isolates us, sometimes all it takes is a single moment of compassion to remind us that we are not meant to face life's challenges alone.